So I warmly welcome you all. This is the first virtual meeting for the funded participants in the Excellence-in-ReSTI project. And we are going to now the feedback, first of all, what you gave to us on Module 1. And quite honestly, the agenda points are in front of you, and the most important agenda point is the last one, because first Claudia will tell you that how the overall progress looks like right now in the training, and I see that it looks quite nice. And then Eugen, like we discussed right now, will show you very shortly the answers to those few technical issues that you identified, that you sent us, either to the info desk or to the info@resti.academy. And then longest presentation will be about your general feedback and about your general recommendations that you gave us. I'm very, very happy that there were quite a few good ideas and quite a few constructive criticism toward us. And afterwards, I will just show you 3 guiding questions, which are very general and which will guide our discussion at the end. So this is, I think, the most important. That's why we are here. This meeting is not about us, because we were talking not in Eisenstadt. It's about you, that you should give us feedback. I would prefer it if you could do it that you are talking to your microphone. If it's not possible, then please write it down. You have a chat function. It's done on the right side at the GoToMeeting if you are using the desktop version, and I think also on the normal version. So if you are writing it there in chat, then I will also try to read it out loud and answer it. If you cannot have it, we have it your feedback in the courses already, but also afterwards, then please send us, because really the main aim is that we have now constructive dialogue, that how we can really make our courses better. Okay, and without further ado, I would like to share the screen of Claudia. Claudia Kummer, who is our project partner, whom you could meet in Eisenstadt from the University of Applied Sciences in Burgenland, and we can already see you, Claudia. So you please just tell us shortly in 3-5 minutes that how does the overall progress right now looks like. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gabor. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I guess that you can hear me. Welcome and have a good evening to everybody from Austria, Eisenstadt. So in the function of the representative from FHB, module leader, I am very happy to say that we have a good overall progress in the first module. Shortly giving you an overview again of the timeline so that you may remember. Most participants actually finished until the given deadline of 4th of November, which is very nice, and we thank you a lot for your enthusiasm and for making it possible that we have already a very good basis for feedback in time. And already to give you a preview, the next module will be project design, and you will have time until the end of the year to finish that module. So a little more time for 4 courses: introduction to grant application writing and impact, advanced project development, application preparation, forming a consortium, and budget development will be the next tasks. So looking back on course 1.1, EU grant land-driven funding structures, we had 23 funded participants and 10 non-funded participants finishing the course number 1.1. 1.2 was finished by 30 people, out of which again 23 funded participants and 7 non-funded ones. Course 1.3 was completed by 27 people. So the participation of non-funded participants, as you may remember, is not restricted or oriented on a certain timeline. There are just recommendations, so maybe they are taking a little bit more time now, which will mean that they have to hurry up later. So that means that more than 80% finished actually this courses only 2 people have had issues, and we are having contact with them. So it's a good, very good signal to us that this is a good group having the necessary speed and the commitment to come along with the course. Those people having completed the courses have earned the first badge, and as I heard, there have been troubles with some of you, but most succeeded in downloading the badge and integrating it into your profiles. But we will hear later about that, how you can come by these issues. Now, for the results, we are also very satisfied with the average results, which were rather good already on the entry quiz, where you could attain maximum 9 points. 7 or around 7 points were attained from the majority for each courses, ranging from 6.86 to the highest score 7.86. And for the assessment tests, where it was possible to reach 10 points, the minimum average was 8.15 for the course EU Grant Landscape and Funding Structures, and the best average was 8.80 in course 1-2 EU Policy Goals and Guidelines. So thank you for your attention, and wishing you a good progress as it is as now.
Thank you very much, Claudia, for this short overall presentation. I would like to just point out really that you know that there are 2 groups of people. You are one of the group who were invited to Eisenstadt, and out of you 25, you are altogether 25, and really just 2 persons couldn't finish the modules until time. So I would really like to thank you, because it really shows an enthusiasm and a commitment, and also it shows an enthusiasm and a commitment that most of you from the 23 identified issues and sent us comments and sent us feedback. So first we will talk about a little bit about the technical issues, and then we will talk about the general issues, the content issues. So for the technical issues, now I will change the presenter, and I will give it to my colleague at the Charles University in Prague, Eugen Kwasniak, who is now the new presenter. So you should be able to see him already.
Yes.
Can you see him? Can you see the new? Yes, I can see. I see you, Eugen. I see you.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi. So, hello everybody. We have just a few issues. I'm very glad to know and to say you are very nice, very technically, how to say, experienced. We have just very few issues I will go through, and I will share these issues written. I have it. I put it in the document, and answer it immediately. I will turn it. Can you see this in my screen? Questions and answers.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. What about like this?
Well, I can see you, but I'm not sure I can see the
okay. I don't know. Wait, I will try again to share you.
Okay.
I don't know. If not, then just continue telling it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So first question from audience: well, how to get enrollment key? Answer is take entry quiz. That's a simple. Maybe we didn't underline it enough. That's at the end of the entry quiz, you will receive enrollment key. Secondly, once students changed their email and had a problem with the login, please, the system is like that. Use the login and the old mail address. Okay, what you put at the first time, that's the functioning, and the system is taking this old mail login. Third, the student wrote, I finished quiz with passing grade, but wanted better. What happens if I take the quiz again? The answer is try it again, and the grade will be taken as the best one. If you tried 3 times and the second will be the best, the second will be taken as the best, as the result. Then, is there any mandatory date for finishing module 1? Yes, it's strongly recommended, yeah, not just the mandatory. And Gabor will answer, and now I think, what do we put as a strongly recommended date? Gabor?
So the first strongly recommended date was 1 week ago, so that I tell that 23 people made it. And the next one is very easy to remember, it's the end of this year. So until the end of the year, I would like to, I know it's Christmas time, I knew it's New Year's time. Eugen says, and I say it's strongly recommended because, you know, if you are getting late, then in the next year you will have trouble catching up. So of course that there is no punishment. The only thing that that you won't get the badge or the certificate if you are interested in it. But we would really like to ask you that until now, don't lose your enthusiasm and motivation, and until the end of this year, try to do the module 2.
Yeah, thank you. Then one student found wrong resource numbering and activity. We checked it, we corrected, and we thank this way. We would like to thank the students for the patience with us. The next question was where to send comments and recommendations about the courses. The answer for technical issues is info@resti.academy, and we will respond it or resend it to creators, to the module leaders and the persons responsible for the certain misfunctioning. The last is maybe you are facing problem with the badges, how to put the badge on the link. I will now read questions. I have received my first badge within the ReSTI program, and I am having the difficulty linking it to my LinkedIn profile. I follow the instructions in the video, but I always receive a message that LinkedIn was not able to retrieve information from the link. The answer is this. Your own earned badges are necessary to make public by clicking to the box publish. Yeah, publish. Might be some fault we did not highlight this information in the badge video enough, and we will correct it. Until this week, we will a little improve our video regarding the badges, and we will help personally this student who was facing this LinkedIn problems. That's all from my side about the questions and comments we received on technical issues. I am giving back the microphone to our leader Gabor.
Thank you very much, Eugen. I think it was very good and very nice. I'm taking back the 1 second. Okay, I think it was very nice. A summary of the most important questions, and I'm happy that we were able to do it without more questions and more serious questions. Can you right now see my monitor, my screen?
I can see your screen.
Super. The agenda you should be able to see. Okay.
Yes.
Then just one more thing I want to show it to you, because we were talking about badges. And I also got the information that some of you didn't get badge, even though you made course 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3.
Okay.
Yes, I will show it now. I will just show it now because it's already my screen. But I think if Eugen, you have something to add, just edit. 1 second. So I'm right now, you should see the learning menu. This is 1.1. And if you go into the assessment, let's go into the assessment. Some of you made the assessment. You see it's here. So you answered the questions and you gave us the mandatory feedback. But you didn't click out. I go down slowly. You see the outcomes here. I'm clicking it out. If one of them, only one of them is not clicked, like by me now, you see that 1.1.1 is not clicked, then the system automatically doesn't see that you completed the course. So please take care of it. It's quite many in 1.1. You see by me, everything is clicked out. So if you feel, because like 5 or 6 of you, I think didn't get the badge, but finished the course. If you feel that you are among them, then please take care to click this. If you still don't get the badge, then please write to us. Maybe it's a different problem like Eugen explained, but I think this is also one reason why you don't get the badges.
Thank you very much, Gabor.
Okay. So this was the technical issues. Of course, if you have more technical questions, we will be able to answer it in the last half hour. But now I think I go to the most important presentation. I give the floor to Martin. I start to share my screen.
Okay, thank
so
you.
Wait a second. So I shared it.
One moment.
Yes, I share with Martin my screen.
And it should be visible in a couple of seconds.
I can see it already. I can see it already. So please, Martin, start the presentation. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Gabor, and thank you all participants for joining us today. Also from my side, welcome to the webinar from Vienna. And I will, during the presentation, I will switch off the webcam because I think it's not necessary. And also from my side, I would like to thank all of you regarding the feedback you have given to us. As you know, ReSTI is, or the course at the moment is a pilot course, so we need your feedback urgently to improve it and to make it better. I will try to be as brief as possible, but also I will have a couple of things to say, which I would like to share with you. So, of course, why do we do this? The purpose of the feedback, I explained, it's a pilot course, and we need to receive the feedback from you, from the students, and based on your feedback, we can improve the course furthermore. You can see here how you can give us feedback. We have heard before that you can write an email to info@resti.academy. You can also ask questions which are more content related via the info desk. We will be glad to help you there as well. And as you may have seen, some of the activities also ask you to ask a question via the info desk. And I cannot stress it often enough, please, we need your written and later on today perhaps your oral feedback to improve the course. Just four slides on the statistics. As you know, you gave us feedback, and here we played around with the numbers, so to see how the three courses are performing compared to each other. So the appropriateness of the course structure you can see here. We have three different questions. Was the lecture clearly and understandable structured? Was the module explained comprehensively? And was the module explained engagingly? So you can see you rated us quite well, I would say. The best mark would be 1, and we received something in between 1.5 and 2.1. Yeah, so, but it's an indicator for us where to improve things. Then the next three questions were, was the course content professionally appropriate? Was any information missing in the course? Was any information redundant in the course? And as you can see, it's also marked here in red. Please also beware, there are different best marks. On the first question, the best mark is 1. On the other two, the best mark would be 5. So here we have a first information what we could, or what we have to improve at first. And you can see the information regarding the redundancy in the course. It was not rated that good. And as you will also see or hear later from my presentation, I had a look at the detailed answers from you, and it's interesting to see that the majority really also gave us written feedback, written indication what to improve, and redundancy was one of the points. But let's move on to the next two questions now, regarding the novelty and future benefits of our courses. Was most of the information new to you? Here, again, well, I would say rather not. We can do something here in the first module. And do you feel that the course is beneficial for your future work? Here again, it's a little bit better then, so that is good to know for us. And it's especially good for you. Appropriateness of the evaluation, were the test questions chosen appropriately, and how were the evaluation criteria for completing the course? So first question again, 2 is not the best, but okay. We will have a look at here again. And regarding the evaluation criteria for completing the course, adequate would be, yes, the thing we would like to reach. And here we reached it in almost all courses. But okay, this is just statistics. And what is what still is very interesting for me is the details you were writing in recommendations and feedback in the mandatory feedback. And here the positive aspects, the most beneficial parts of course 1.1. I will not read that loud out now. We will provide the presentation for you so you can have a look. But just pick some things. What was seen as a positive aspect was the introductory video and the PowerPoint presentation. I will come back to that later on. So we can see that, of course, material which is not only downloaded from the internet, of course, and added to an activity in a certain more or less complicated way. It is much better seen from your side if we have a certain video made to summarize things or presentations to summarize things. And of course, we know that the material we provided in the library is quite, there's quite a lot of it, and there's a lot of it to read. And this is one point I take for myself for the future work here, that we summarize even more. But yeah, you can see it here. And in the parts where we did the summary already via a video or a presentation, it was mentioned as something beneficial for you. Then for course 1.2, EU policy goals and guidelines. For example, the white paper on the 5 future scenarios of the EU was considered something positive. Also, again, I think this document is quite prepared or it is a summary document. So again, we can see that here. Then for course 1.3, the EU strategy, the future, so to say, EU 2030 and beyond. The quiz, for example, was seen as something good. And again, here we can see as soon as we touch something and we summarize things and we rearrange it, it's seen as something positive. Then the not that nice aspects for us, but these are the indicators which we need. The least beneficial parts, of course, 1.1, thematic focus on energy, for example. I will come back to that as well. And as well, we know that also too much focus on Interreg, for example. Regarding 1.2, the country reports were not seen as that informative and useful. And for course 1.3, a lot of statistics, a lot of survey data, which should have been or can be prepared in a different way. Then we also asked you for the 3 best activities. And in course 1.1, the library materials. And this is somehow twofold, because on one hand, we know there's a lot of material and it's too much. But on the other hand, you see it also as positive. And we will have a very detailed look into the feedback from you to see which resources, which information are, for example, redundant and can be removed. For course 1.2, for example, the SWOT analysis in playground activity discussing the visions of future of the European Union. This was seen as something very, very interesting and good. And regarding course 1.3, for example, again, the library materials and again, the quiz, which was mentioned before. Then very briefly, a summary over all courses, I would say, recommendations to change. We will definitely restructure the materials presented or uploaded in the library. We will also think of different ways than just a list. So we will see whatever Moodle allows us here. And we will definitely do more interactive videos. It was mentioned mind mapping at one feedback. This was taken up and we will have a look at that. And of course, summary of the course content at the beginning. And here it is written at least one video per each course. And originally it should have been that way. I don't know now the reasons for some courses, but this was our intention, and we will definitely improve that and do that for all the courses. And yeah, the information about the workload, this is something, of course, we can or we will add it. It's not that easy because it's just indicators, and we have to find a way that the indicators in one course are the same or based on the same data than in other courses, but we will have a look at that definitely. And of course, fix broken links. This is, we don't need to discuss about that. During the runtime of the first module, we fixed a couple of them already, but there are still 1, 2, 3 of them, which are, I would not call them broken, but not the right ones. So we will have to repair them as well. The second slide on recommendations to change. Guidelines and checklist document should have hyperlinks for better orientation. Again, this is a technical issue. I think it's not a problem to do so. We discussed it during the creation of the document, of the activities, of the resources, but at the end we didn't do it, but now we have an indication that it's needed, and of course it makes things much more easy to follow. Then the link to study outcomes with each activity, from assessment to activity. This is also definitely something which we want to incorporate. And we will also think we have an internal recommended sequence from PowerPoint to guidelines and checklists, and it was not incorporated at the moment, but it can be done very easily. And we wanted to give you a little bit more freedom to choose, but we received a lot of feedback that it's also would be perhaps more useful or better if we give a recommendation. This we can do, of course. Pre-assessment quizzes before the final quiz to test your knowledge. Did you pick up all the bits and pieces, all the information we wanted you to learn? And for this, these pre-assessment quizzes can be very useful. We can do that, or we will discuss about it. And yeah, the role of the entry quiz will also be explained in future courses more clearly, because there was some kind of confusion as well here. Then this is the recommendation to change the third slide. Playground, there was a nice input, which personally I like very much, to be a little bit more, how can I say, daring, to do more real games. There was this example to add small icons and pictures, to add pictures. So we know what you mean. We will think again of how we can improve this door and to be more on the playground, yes. The cafe was also a very interesting feedback that in the duration of module 1, there was not enough time to actually do the cafe activities properly or as intended. And yeah, we'll have to rethink about the duration, about the things we ask here. So yeah, point taken here as well. ReSTI Plaza, I personally had a look regularly, but I've seen there are just 3 threads now. One is a test thread and 2 others are content threads. So there's not much going on actually. And we also have to discuss this internally in ReSTI, how we can be more present, for example, the module leaders or the course leaders, for example, the tutors. And we will improve this in the future modules, hopefully, in the future courses. And the alignment of the course content to remove redundancy. I mentioned this before. And also the activities, the library material between the courses, we will have to look very detailed in the 3 first courses, for example, and in the future courses as well. We were aware that the content for 1.1, 1.3 and 1.2 and 1.3, they are very narrow to each other. And we have to find a better way to differentiate between them. This we will do. Speaking of the ReSTI Plaza, I mentioned before there were just 2 content-wise threads, and I picked up one example for you. There was a question regarding library activity 1.1.1, program project matching. And as you can see here, our intent and our outcomes are clearly defined as is understandable. And basically, we want you to differentiate between a program call, where to fit your project to. This is the main outcome here. And just as a general feedback to these 2-3 postings in this thread, we tried to create the activities in a way that the answers are not definitely wrong if it's well explained. So there can be multiple correct choices, for example, one project description, and it can fit to 1 or 2 programs. So this is the general thing which we have to edit at the beginning of the activity somewhere or as a footnote so that you are aware of that. So I had a look at the 2 examples, or actually 1 example, and the matching, and this was correct. So there's no discussion about it. I mentioned here in project example 2, fits program A, and it can also fit another program. So this is just a question, what is important for you? And also, sometimes we don't give enough information regarding a certain project, and we want you to add this additional information to make it fit. And if you explain it, then it's correct. And this is actually a real-world example also, because in the real world, you will have 3-4 programs which could fit your project idea, and you have to decide what is important for you and where does it fit. So this is actually the intent of this activity here. And the second one was playground activity 1.1.3.3, Euro access macro regions, find a call. And again, this was an activity, you all know it, to find a fitting call for a project and to use the Euro access macro regions database. And again, here there are multiple answers which are correct. And it also can happen that I don't know, if you do this activity at the beginning of the month, you get different results than at the end of the month, because perhaps there are new calls and we enter them constantly. So it's a live system. And again, it depends what is important for you. And so there may be multiple answers which are correct. That's just from my side a clarification for 1.1. And as I mentioned before, I read through all the statistics and all the feedbacks you wrote. Really, it's very interesting and very nice that you just not, most of you not add one word or say, yes, it's good or it's bad, but you explain yourself, and that's very, very good. Interact focus, we are aware of that. We have a lot of material regarding the Interact, because there are so many different Interact programs. We thought it is interesting and it is relevant, but we learned now that we have to streamline here, and we will find a way to reduce it. The focus on energy efficiency is an internal thing which happened during the creation of the activities and materials for course 1.1, and we will have a look at that to make it more universal. It's not necessary that we have the energy efficiency focus. It was just picked randomly. Too much material, of course, we are aware of that. We were aware of that when we started or when we finished all our activities regarding course 1.1, and there we have to streamline a lot. Point which I find interesting as well, more interaction with lecturer. There we will have to find a way or a modus, a process how to do it, and we can do that. It's not another thing. We just thought we will wait for your questions, and so it was a little bit, probably you waited for us and we waited for you, so nothing happened here. We will be more proactive, I guess, in the future. Again, this also connects to the ReSTI Plaza interaction. There didn't much happen. More videos, less reading was the general feedback I read through all the courses. On one hand, of course, definitely. On the other hand, it's not that easy to make videos or to make summaries, and you also need the background material. So we will find here a way where we can do videos, where we can do presentations, and still have the links to the background material. less statistics. Okay, I mentioned that before. It was mentioned before. And I also mentioned the next one, streamline content of all 3 courses. And last but not least, more prepared presentations. This goes together. So this was from my side the most important points besides the other ones mentioned. Once again, really thank you very much for the time you spent to give us the feedback. It's very, very important for us. This concludes my presentation, and I have here 3 questions regarding the open discussion, which I think have now. Gabor, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, we have it now.
And yes, and the questions to all of you: what aspect would you strengthen in the future of in future courses? What aspect would you abandon in future courses? What are your most important general recommendations towards course developers? So I guess, Gabor, we open the floor for the participants.
Yes, Martin, can your screen?
Yes.
Okay, your screen remains there, so don't move out of here, because I think
I don't move anything.
Okay.
Oh, no, I don't move anything.
Thank you very much first
That's fine.
for the excellent presentation, and I think that it summarized your views, so your feedback, and I think it was quite comprehensive, and I think Martin tried to answer this as best as possible. But we have like a little bit more than 20 minutes left. And as Martin and I also said, it's very important for us that you tell us your opinion. So please check these 3 questions. But if you have anything else to say, that what you like, what you didn't like, how you want to change it, then now it's the time to do so. So please unmute yourself, and or if you cannot, just write in the chat. But I'm really curious about your initial expectations, reactions. So please, I'm listening.
Yes, hello, here's Jaroslav.
Hi, we can hear you.
Yeah, what I would like to suggest is to, especially in, I don't know which activity it was, but like a comparison, I think of the programs. It would be helpful to to have more advice from an additional presentation, for example, where we can see the similarities in the structure.
I think this is course 1.1, Martin, that we are talking about.
Yes. If I understand it correctly, you are asking for some kind of overview, in what kind we can imagine, to compare the programs on after a quick glance or a short reading into it. Is that correct?
Yes, right. You're correct.
Okay. Yes, I have something put up on the wall here in my office, but this is from another company, so I cannot put it online, but we will think of something. Yes, I mean, the knowledge is available, we know that. So,
Because the problem was that when you don't have the input of a lecturer, then it's difficult for the learner to find the dissimilarities of programs, for example, or of policies. Yes, I was also thinking about policies.
Okay. Yeah, well, we have to think, because you know the details are sometimes hidden somewhere. So a program may seem the same on the first look at it and on the highest level, and then you have to dig into it. But I know what you mean, and we will. I wrote it down now, so we will have a look what material we can provide here. And regarding, I think I also speak then for the other lecturers or for the other module leaders. If I tell you, please, in the upcoming courses and modules, I think you can approach the module leaders quite openly. So just via the Moodle function, I think you have a private chat version. But Gabor, please advise if I say something wrong. But you have the Plaza as well. But approach the module leaders or the course
leaders. We are the module leader in the next module. You can surely write to me and also to Pamela, my colleague. I think that what Jaroslav said is also very important. We tried to make all the courses so that there is an introductory presentation or video, which would be even better, or even more interactive materials, which gives like a summary and which gives like an overview. Maybe we didn't succeed in all cases, but it would be good to know also for me, also where you see redundancies. As Martin said, it's a twofold way, because one way you like the library materials, but other way you find it redundant. So it's the nature of the beast. But it would be nice to know that what you are really missing here, and I think what Jaroslav said is a valid point that we should check. Okay. Somebody?
Hi.
Hi, we see you, Gabriela.
Hi. Yes, okay, hello. Thank you very much for the first module. I wrote some little suggestions. First of all, it was a little bit difficult at the beginning just to follow all the chapters. It was a little bit like confusing, because I didn't know which document should I open first. And then I realized that I opened the library documents first, and then I saw that there are like steps after steps to open them after topics, no? So it was a little bit confusion. Perhaps it would be good to make it more like a more clear structure, how to go from one course to another one. Like in this case, the model 1 had 3 courses. And I really get a shock when I saw so many documents in the library, and I didn't know when I will finish, because I saw the timing is 200 minutes or 350 minutes. So I was a little bit shocked. I said, I will never finish. This is one thing. I have to say that some of the resources what I opened, they were not available. So can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay. And
okay.
Yes.
The idea is that some documents were not available, and it was a little bit frustrating. But I say, okay, no problem. I go to the next. Then I have a question. I am not a profi in computers and nothing, but I realized that when I open one link, sometimes immediately was download and sometimes not. So this make me a little bit confused, because I didn't know should I save them in my computer, and then I didn't know if I should erase them. And it was like if I will have the feeling that everything what I open is download, I will be very happy, because I know I have a copy from everything. But sometimes was not, and sometimes yes. So it was a little like confusing. I didn't know, should I keep everything or should I erase them? Because I didn't know it's the whole, no? This is the first thing. Some were download as PDF files. So it was immediately download, and I was very happy, because I said, oh, I can read it again later. But it was a little bit like confusing, that sometimes it was download and sometimes no, and this. And then there is another thing. For example, the 11119 Interreg, the new transnational executive summary, it took, because I pressed to see or to learn a little bit, it was immediately download, and it took so long to download, and I didn't know, should I stop it or should I wait or should I forget it? So I don't know, perhaps it should be made that it's not at all download anything, or if it's that it should be automatically download, that we should be warned to know what we will do with these files, what we are getting. And then sometimes I realized the timing was not so realistic, because sometimes it took me much longer. Perhaps it's my personal, it's a very subjective factor, no? Then I saw that there were like cookies which were adding to all the documents what I was opening, and I was a little bit like amused. I said, oh, should I accept them or not? And so this is something else. Then I wrote that sometimes we get a link to a video. So I watched the video, and when the video, I stop it or I close it, immediately start to run another video which was like in YouTube in the same topic, no? And then I was really lost because I said, why came now this? So it should be like videos which are perhaps already specifically used for the program or for this project. But if we use open sources like YouTube, then it's the risk that then immediately after one video finished, you will go immediately to another video. I don't know, perhaps it's only a feature of my computer. I have no idea. No, but it's just I want to tell you this.
Mhm.
Then I have I wrote something else. I didn't have a realistic time to go to the playground because I don't know. I don't know. I didn't do it honestly, but I have a very bad feeling that why I didn't do it. But I was afraid that I will not finish now.
Mhm.
Then in the module 1, in the course 2, so the 1.2, I have to say that there is this video, the introduction video, in the there was in the video in the page 10. I counted. No, there was a slide talking about the European Commission, and sometimes it was like it was not clear the definition between the European Council and the European Commission. I don't know why I get this confusion. No, I was really thinking that it's like not so clear. And then in the page 14 of this video, the first paragraph, I considered that it was not necessary because it was like to repeat it. But I don't know if you know where I'm talking about. It's a introduction video from the course 2 from the module 1.
Yes.
And I count that it was the page 14.
Yes.
And then in the page 16, it is used abbreviations like DGS, like the Directorate General. But I don't know if all people understood what is DG. I learned it because I'm doing the Master of European Studies, but perhaps people which has no idea what is DG and it's not clarified before, they will not know what is DG. I don't know. It was in the page 14.
Okay.
And you know what? I realized that this abbreviation was clarified in page 21. So a little bit much later on.
That's
so if somebody read, tell me.
That's a mistake. I just tell you. But you have a very good that you have an eye for it. I would like to say that when you have such things, because you said at the beginning that the sources weren't there, or you find that this. I would ask you, like Martin said, that you can always write us an email. So when you are saying that this is it, you can write to this ReSTI info@ReSTI Academy all the time an email, and I will get it, or somebody from the course leaders will get it, and we will correct this. Quite frankly, what you are talking about, it's also a co-work of me. So I was also working on it. So maybe I made some mistakes there, but it's very nice to know such a detailed.
I don't think it's a mistake. It's just that in the first time you use DG, you just write Directorate General and then between brackets DG, and then everybody will know for first time. Will start to use this abbreviation.
It's academically must. Yeah. But I would suggest you that you write down all this. I'm making notes now.
Okay.
Write down this and send it to us. And really, as Martin said, we will make the necessary changes in our move.
Okay, I will do it.
For the future.
And I have tell me.
I say that it's maybe not for you, but you are making the life of people coming after you much easier.
Okay, I will do it. And the last thing, the course 3, I really like very much the video. The video was really well done, so well done that I could perhaps answer many of the questions of the assessment. It was really, I really like it. And if all videos, the introduction videos will be like this, it would be very clear to start to do the whole library, all the 5 doors. So I just want to say that I like it very much, the last video from the 3rd course.
On behalf of the University of Belgrade team who made it, this video, by the way, I also showed to my wife, and she also liked it. So I also think that it's a very nicely done video there. So we should strive to have such a video. Otherwise, what you said about the download, I don't know. Eugen, you are here. about this issue, that because this is a Moodle issue. So if you say that it's not nice, that it's not really comfortable, that every link is immediately downloadable, then we should have a discussion that we will change it, and it shouldn't take a long time to download it.
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's possible. Just I think this is the platform to collect all these issues and recommendations and good hints or tips, and we can discuss it behind the curtain with the organizers. It depends. Sometimes it's better to one click download it. Sometimes doesn't work. You would like to decide. It depends. Okay, let's discuss it. It's technically possible.
Martin here. May I show you something? I switch now to, I hope you can see now the web browser. Is this correct?
Yes, we see it.
Yes, just an explanation. When you have these icons here, then it's a PDF document. So when you click on it, depending on your browser, it will be downloaded or immediately shown. When I click on it, I immediately get it shown in the browser. So this is how my computer is set up. But just as a hint, then here you have this icon here. This is a link. So definitely that's, you can also have a look here, what am I clicking, and then you can have an indication what may happen. A link, you will open another web page, and this here should be something, it's a zip package, so it's a combined document. So just for you to give an first...
Martin, can you try to click on 1.1.138? 38.
1.1.138, yeah, this is the introductory video.
It's working. Because we just got the comment that it's not working.
Yeah, I noticed all the comments down. I write them down. I will have a look later on or tomorrow. So yeah, it depends.
But the most important, as Eugen and Martin also stressed it, that we will work on it behind the curtain, so to say.
Yes.
Please send us everything in writing, because it's very nice that you are giving this mandatory feedback, but it's a limited text. So you can always write us very long emails. We will read it, and then we will divide the task, because somebody does technical stuff, somebody does the course development stuff. And otherwise, I see that Anna wrote that like Gabriel also said it, that there is not much time for playground and cafe activities to work together. We are aware of this. So one thing is that it's not a bug, but rather a feature that we put there so many materials. So you shouldn't be afraid that you cannot read all the materials or cannot do all the activities. But I was aware of it at the beginning of it, that we have, unfortunately, because of the project time, also a limited time. I would give you more time, of course, to finish it. So how to strengthen the interactivity? It's a good question that we will also discuss behind the curtain, because we didn't want to, so to say, make people to form teams, to get together. We didn't want to say that, Anna, you should work with him or her to make it. This is a solution that we can still discuss at the latest in Budapest for the last 2 modules, which will be a little bit, I think, more interesting, because let's be honest, this is one of the most boring topics, that EU policies. Okay, it's a must, but nobody wants to read it. But social innovation and business innovation at the end might be interesting, and also module 3. So thanks, Anna, and thanks for all the others. We will try to raise the interactivity of the courses. And thank you, Gabriela, for the detailed.
I will send an email.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Somebody else? I'm reading until now the chat. Okay. So somebody, some more opinion in written or a microphone?
What I'm just thinking of is, I wrote it also in the feedback. In one module, the presentations were in PPT format, and I think it's more professional when they are when you have them as PDFs. And it's also especially easier when you have to browse through the documents. It's easier when they are PDFs, not PPTs.
Yes, I agree.
I agree also. We should check this through, and like Martin said, we made our quality assurance, but lack of time also led to it. So what you say, what you are suggesting, I all agree with, and I say that if not for you, when we really start the training, we will change the PPT to PDF. Otherwise, in chat, I see that there are no more questions, if I see it correctly. Somebody thank for Daniela for the nice feedback. I don't see this feedback. This is my question. If somebody wants to write or ask something, then please, we have like 5 more minutes left.
I think he meant Daniela. He meant Gabriela. Yes.
Ah, Gabriela's okay.
Hi. Inga speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to say that I'm overall really satisfied with the quantity and quality of the course. So kudos to you. I think you've done a great job. My general recommendation towards course developers for this course, as well all other courses, is try to align them as much as possible with real life scenarios. What I precisely mean is perhaps within the course content, it would be amazing if some of the most common challenges would be identified, and perhaps some options on how to overcome these challenges would be outlaid or laid out within either forest or playground activities. So to basically try to do as it was in a way done within this course, with all those links to search engines and all this matching project to program procedure. I think that these versions, these options are very, very valuable for all project managers, especially the beginner level project managers, to which this course is quite intended for.
Okay. Case studies, I would say that this was one idea that we were playing around, which didn't really get incorporated into most of the courses. In some courses in the future, I think you will have case studies which are focusing on the challenges. So this is also, thank you. This is also what I will write down, and we will work on it.
Great. And thank you for the course. It was really, really interesting and really valuable.
I thank you for really that it's maybe I'm a bit pessimistic person, but I didn't expect that almost all of you will make it until. So I thank you, and I see it. My colleague Claudia told me that all 23 of you who finished the first module are right now. So also I would like to thank for this commitment that you are showing towards the course. And by me it's almost 6. So some more comments.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, do you hear me?
Yes.
I'm Mariana from Moldova. I have one suggestion, just to not repeat the same information. For example, I could propose to have some pre-test quiz, for example, in the form of a game. It could be very interactive with lots of questions, just to check, because in the library we have a lots of information and hundreds of pages, and just to be sure we understand everything, it could be, for example, some pre-test quiz, and check our knowledge. And for example, if something is not clear, we can read once again, for example, some part of the information. So be sure that all the important information is clear, and yeah.
That's a good idea that Martin said. Maybe you were the one who wrote it there, this pre-assessment quizzes.
Yeah, but it pre-assessment in the form of a game, and
yes, I understand. So no stress, just a game.
Yeah. And not only 10 questions, but more questions. And just to check, for example, this I understood this as well. And if, for example, at one point we can see that something is missing, or we don't remember something, we can, for example, read once again the information, only because it's a lot of information in the library, and to be sure that the most important one is clear and is remembered.
Okay. Thank you for that.
So no, that's just fun quiz. I understand it. It's I think it was a compromise that we were doing, that it's 10 questions now. When we go live, I think it's gonna be a little bit more sophisticated than this. And this is also a good idea, Mariana. One more thing, it came to my mind. There was a misunderstanding, like Martin also said, about the entry quiz. So the entry quiz is not a real quiz. Sorry that we call it like this. It's just for you to check it. So there's no problem when you don't know anything in that entry assessment. Okay, so this is it can be seen as a fun, not so fun, but it can be seen as a helpful little tool that to measure your initial knowledge. Otherwise, it doesn't. If you don't know anything there, it doesn't matter. So you can still take the course. It was a misunderstanding that I got in email. Okay, the only real test is at the end, the assessment test. So that's the only one. The quiz is just for you not to know. So, and we can still think of developing other type of quizzes like this. Otherwise, in playground activities, in some courses we have, I hope in module 2, I prepared some and my colleagues prepared some, we have similar quizzes. So thank you for the suggestion. Somebody else? Okay, it's by me, it's 6 o'clock free. So I would like to really thank you once again that all of you came, all 23 of you who finished the module 1, and I would like to ask you not to lose this commitment. We recorded this video. We will make also short summary points, and as Martin said, the presentation will be available on Moodle. And I would like to really ask you that don't be shy, don't be afraid. If you find some links which are not working, or you have some technical problems, questions like now Gabriela said, then just write to us. You can write in Moodle to the private emails which are office emails. You can write that, or if you write to that info@resti.academy, then the relevant person will get it to the Charles University colleagues, so it's not a problem. Get in touch with us. And if you have some more serious questions, then the info desk is also there available. Okay, I'm checking that there's some more questions. Okay, I see. Okay, it's not a question, it's rather a compliment. Okay. So something else at this late hour? If not, then I would like to thank all of you for coming. I would like to thank Claudia, Eugen, and primarily Martin for presentation and for answering. And we will go back to the work behind the curtain, like Eugen said, and we will be in touch with you. So we will surely try to make it as interactive as possible as we can. And as I said, please, it's a two-way street. You are not students, you are our pilot participants whose opinion is really valuable for us. So please, always, the doors are open from all the partners. So thank you very much, and we will be in touch. And the next online meeting is in January. But until then, of course, if something comes up, then we will be in touch through the ReSTI Plaza or through emails or all the other formats. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.